I want to thank you though for that post because so during COVID, I was like holding everything together, like many people were.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I was the person that people turned to because I was like doing the workout videos and holding it together and keeping my head up. And like, I'm always a really positive person. And I saw one of your posts with you crying and I went, and I just started sobbing. It gave me the permission to cry. And I did the thing. And I picked up my phone and I recorded it for posterity. And I was like, it's happening. And I'm crying. And I am so happy and scared and relieved and sad and all of it. And I put it on social media. I just did the same thing that you did and was like, I'm going to do it too. I'm going to do it too because I want to cry. And Paulina's made me feel like it was okay to do that. And so I'm going to do it for other people. And I don't care if you think it's voyeuristic. It is. It is. 100% it is. I was actually excited to look at my face crying because it had been so long since I had actually cried like that I needed it. And it felt very good.
Okay. Well, I'm crying a little bit right now. So, oh God, that really, I can't tell you how that makes me feel. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's enormous.
But it did. And it gave permission to other people.
Yeah, that's the essay in my book, the essay called The Crying Lady of Instagram, when I bumped to some young woman.
It was a young woman.
A young woman, slightly inebriated.
You're her.
Yeah, just kind of like, wanted to chat to me. And I thought she has me confused with, I don't know, somebody at Brooke Shields, whatever. And because there's no way she knows who I am. And then she said, you're the crying lady of Instagram. And I realized what an enormous compliment that was. That's like, I was so proud. And that moment had stayed with me ever since. Now I'm adding your moments onto this. Thank you, Katie. Of daring to not be perfect, of daring to be vulnerable. And yes, like you said, yes, of course it's voyeuristic. You hadn't seen yourself cry for years, and I did nothing but cry to the extent that I was bored with these endless tears. And I started, like, while I'm crying, I'm thinking about shopping lists and like what I should clean. And I wonder what this looks like. Like I was crying so much that I was just bored with myself crying, but I couldn't stop. It just kept going. And I had been like you until that moment. Until that moment, I had been the girl who never cried. I took such pride in never crying because I was always, as long as you don't cry, you're the strong one. My boyfriend said something yesterday. We have these lengthy emotional discussions all the time. He's like the smartest person I have ever met. And I mean, emotionally intelligent, which is rare in a man.
True.
Yeah, sorry, guys. But it's
but you can work on it, guys.
Exactly. You can get there. My boyfriend proved that it exists. And he said something, we were talking about vulnerability. And I was thinking about how vulnerability, telling people like, my childhood scars, or somebody that's telling me about, the terrible things that happen to you, and you think that is vulnerability. And he said, showing old scars or new scars, showing scars is not vulnerability. It's showing an open wound.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, shit. That's right. The open wound. Until that moment that I posted myself holding Rick's bathrobe, until the moment that I posted myself sobbing, which, by the way, was incredibly ugly. Now when I've seen it, just kind of go by, I think, oh my God, it's it's ugly to watch. Now I have to watch you.
Oh, there are no pretty criers in the world, by the way.
Not if they're doing it right.
Yeah. Well, mine was not, I don't think mine was a video. It was just a picture. So mine was not as brave as yours.
It's still incredibly brave. It's incredibly brave because you are, I mean, even like in your work life, what we are used to seeing you as is like kick-ass, the kick-ass girl, the kick-ass woman. Like she can take them all. She can take it all on. She's, with the guys. And we as a society celebrate it. And that's the sad part, is that that's what's celebrated. Because it's kind of what keeps us back. If anything, it prevents us from having true connections to other humans, as I have come to discover now at 59. I'm just discovering this now. I'm like, oh, oops. I didn't know how to ask for help. And so I fostered a sort of an inauthentic me to other people. And so some of the friendships that I've had in my life, that lifelong friendships, suddenly don't work anymore. And that's a very sad thing. And it's not just them. It's half me.
Yeah, of course. But that is a very honest, evolved way of looking at it. Like, I think that, you can look back at your life and the relationships that we've had, and you can be, so many people choose to be victims and say this happened to me. But I think we have to take responsibility for our 50% of it, because for whatever reason, we were a participant in that relationship and it served you to some extent, and you got something out of it or you wouldn't have stayed. And so you have to take responsibility for your part of relationships. And that's not easy. It's much easier to be a victim.
Yeah, it's just easier to blame things on somebody else, for sure.
Yeah.